So I just wanted to talk for a minute about art versus artist. I can't remember why this is on my mind. It might have been an episode of Switchblade Sisters, that new film podcast I'm obsessed with, but this is something I've struggled with personally for many years. You know, I went to art school. I learned about this concept there, I think, maybe even in like high school art classes, where you know, some people think that you can look at a piece of artwork and look at it on its own merit and remove the artist from it, like remove the creator from that piece of artwork. And, you know, specifically if that creator is, you know, problematic, abusive, or terrible in any way, you know, therefore, you know, excusing the piece of art as like the amazing thing that it is, and, you know, saying it's okay to showcase that and celebrate it despite the fact that the artists themselves might have been terrible. I used to think this was possible. I used to be able to go look at Picasso painting, you know, a Gauguin painting, a Diego Rivera mural without thinking about the abusive shit that they've done in their lives, especially to women. And over time, this just kind of wore on me. I just couldn't separate the two anymore. I would look at them and I would always think of the artist and think of what they had created. And so, you know, stuff like that just kind of wore on me over time. I would like find out, you know, oh, this usually male artist who I really love is actually a really abusive husband. You know, in the case of Roman Polanski, sexual assaults or child molester. You know, just like all of these instances, and you know, it keeps happening now. We live in the age of Me Too, and like a lot of this stuff is happening in Hollywood and all over the place in lots of industries. And this video is not to necessarily out any of those instances in tabletop role-playing games or LARPs, but rather to point out that we have those same problems in our media. There are people of all genders who are not great people. I think most of the time it is very easy to tell that these people are not great based on their actions and their words, you know, online. That's usually the easiest way to see it. Sometimes you can see it at conventions, you know, and there's also, sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes people hide it really well, you know, and many abusers in our communities go on jumping from click to click without, you know, each click realizing that they are an abuser, because information is not easy to spread about these types of things. This stuff makes me really upset. Like, as an event organizer, I wish there was a way for me to tell everybody who I would not invite to my events, you know, based on the information that I have. But that's complicated and involves safety, and you know, I don't even really know how to deal with that, even though I've dealt with it on lower levels. So anyway, it's kind of a sidetrack. A lot of these visual artists, filmmakers, actors, you know, were also very obviously abusive, done illegal things. And I don't think that's always the case with every creator. I think that someone can be an asshole, like you can be a racist and have never, you know, done anything or said anything or like directly harassed a person, you know, but that doesn't change the fact that you're racist. And so I guess when I'm looking at creators in role-playing games and LARPs, I'm looking not only for specific people who are abusers, but also for people who are generally just kind of terrible. You know, they're assholes to people. They talk down to people. Maybe they're sexist or racist. Maybe their behavior is aggressive or scary in some way. It's not making the space welcome for diverse people, various things. And some people change over time, you know. I've seen people go from some of these descriptions, you know, in gaming communities, and, you know, get woke and change and become better. So that is possible, but I also think it's very rare. I guess I still see some of these creators celebrated in certain circles. I see the fact that they're not great people glossed over or even forgiven because, you know, they insist that the art that they make, the role-playing games or LARPs that they make, are separate from the person themselves. And this is just patently not true. When an artist or creator makes anything, they are investing that thing with parts of themselves. You know, their thoughts, their dreams, their bias, their perspective. And no matter how good that thing might be, you know, it still has those elements of that person in it. And every time you buy that thing, you're supporting that person. So, all that to say, you know, art versus artist, you know, you cannot separate art from the artist. They are one and the same thing, no matter how good or how meaningful that art might be. Always remember who made it, where it came from, and who you're supporting by buying it.